but we've already skipped over that part as Sylph mentioned. So this chapter is June's chapter. So we have this chapter, and then there's one more.
Also, I'm back.
Hello.
Oh.
Shock value is a reasonable answer to why that was given to us, I guess is a way to put it.
We have.
I was introducing chapter 8 of Ways to the Ocean.
Yeah, I did hear some of that. Okay. We have a narrator, a June, a Dave, a party invitation, a Jade. I don't know. I think maybe Anna should narrate this one.
All right.
Since she's here, I'll do June and Jade.
And then I'll do Dave. And
Dave and is there anyone else? Oh, there's a
dad bit.
There's a dad. Do you want to do dad too?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Cool.
This is the chapter that made me cry when I first read it. I think this is the chapter that made me cry when I first read it.
That is entirely possible.
That's the Sylph of Breath fic experience, baby.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I wish I hadn't missed the first chapter of the new Sylph of Breath fic because I want to read that one.
It's pretty good. It's not a very long chapter. It wouldn't take long to catch up on it.
I should probably just read it.
Also, you're good. Your fics are good. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, that's good. That is good. That's a specific type of fan fiction that's written when you want to experience a very specific feeling, and we're all gonna feel it together tonight.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, everybody.
Oh, the fetish stuff. Oh, no, you're not the only person that's run into that problem. Homestuck epilogues are not. They're not good faith. They're not. They've got a lot of stuff in them. And they're very like hostile in a lot of ways. So
yeah,
they're totally raider hostile.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
All righty. Yeah, I think we're ready.
Now don't hang on. Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away and all your money won't another minute buy. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. American film and television star Scott Baio. You cannot be any other girl, because you are the only girl left. Well, no, obviously there are other girls you could be. This planet has a pretty huge population these days, including lots of girls of several species, but as far as girls we care about, people we care about, it all comes down to you. You stand in your bedroom. It just so happens that today, the 13th of April, 5135, is your birthday. It was 147 years ago you were given life, 134 years ago your life changed forever, and 78 years ago you were given your name. Your name is June Egbert. Your former spouse and best friend, Roxy Lalonde, and your child, Harry Anderson, gave it to you. You miss Roxy Lalonde, and you miss Harry Anderson. You miss a lot of people. What will you do? That is a question you've asked yourself most days lately. More often than not, you don't have an answer to give yourself. You simply don't do anything. Today, since it is your birthday, and because you are feeling particularly old, particularly bored, and particularly lonely, you decide you'd like to try doing something. Once you've shaved, brushed your teeth, and gotten dressed, you find yourself standing in the hallway, right outside the door to your dad's room. More recently, it was your friend Jake's room, who was also your dad, but Jake has been gone for quite a few years now, so you've reverted back to thinking of his room as your other dad's room. And so you have reverted back to keeping the door closed at all times out of respect. Today, however, you've decided that you'd like to go inside, and since you're all out of dads who might object, you see no reason not to do just that. Though your hand does feel a little heavy when you work up the energy to reach for the knob, you manage to grab it. A few seconds later, turn it, and a few seconds after that, push open the door. Just peeking out from under the bed is an unlabeled cardboard box. You know what's in this box, though you've been successful in forgetting about it for years until this moment. Maybe the adrenaline of just seeing it again after hiding it from yourself for so long is what gives you the courage to pull it out and open it. Or maybe you're just finally too old for your own bullshit. On top, a stack of papers, is your dad's old PDA. Man, you haven't used this thing for years. You'd wondered where it ended up. You find the charger in your dad's desk drawer and plug it in, just to see. Once it lights up, you see that the screen is frozen on an old, really old pester log.
Hey, Dave. I just wanted to see how you're doing today.
Honestly, dude, I don't even fucking know. I'm just still just trying to make sense of all this. Even though in a lot of ways it all makes perfect sense. Like, this is exactly the kind of thing he would definitely do, but it just really fucking blows.
Yeah.
Like, we both independently spent the first 16 years of our lives, like, weirdly idolizing and fearing each other, and then we finally get to meet IRL and, like, IDK, work through our shit and be bros. And the second we got here, he just completely ghosts me and everyone else and fucks off to his workshop to fulfill his ultimate destiny of becoming the universe's ultimate narcissistic prick.
Yeah.
And then, Jesus, the dude has the nerve to send a fucking treatise on the meaning of existence and godhood and all the other fucking horse shit. And the seven of us get to share one sentence about how we've all been important to him, but suddenly there's no fucking time to elaborate on that or, like, get specific.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll be fine, dude. I just got some, like, childhood trauma and abandonment bullshit I gotta work through. I just need time, and I got time.
Yeah.
Karkat's been helping a lot, actually.
Oh, good. Really?
Yeah. Actually, John, I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
About Karkat and me.
Okay, what is it?
We're not really just roommates anymore.
Oh, did he move out? Did you move out?
Jesus, dude, no. We're more than just roommates. We're, mate spreads.
Oh, okay. Which one is that again?
Fuck!
You read it over a couple times before putting the PDA down. You wonder if you'd actually been a better friend to Dave if you weren't so caught up in your own depression and gender angst and spent more time with him. Maybe he would have stayed a little longer. Maybe he would have gotten to meet the real you. On top of the stack of papers below is a perfectly calligraphied gold-bordered party invitation. Madames Rose Lalonde and Kanaya Merriam request the honor of your presence at our final soiree, Saturday, October the 25th, 5071, at 8 o'clock p.m., at our home, 413 Mendicant Boulevard, Carapace Kingdom. Please join us to reminisce and say farewell on the eve of our departure. Formal dress. RSVP by October 11th. No gifts, please. If any of your friends were going to go out with style in class, of course it was going to be these two. You remember how uncomfortable the whole thing made you at the time, but now all you can do is laugh. These flighty broads lived their lives exactly on their own terms for exactly as long as they wanted and then went out with a bang. You now almost wish you had their foresight. Next, you find a bundle of Christmas cards, the cheesy kind with family all perfectly arranged and wearing basically the same outfit, but just different enough to seem like they all simply wanted to be wearing black bottoms and red tops because they love each other so much. First, just two smiling faces, your old friends Jane and Jake Crocker. Then next year with baby Tavros, several years just through them with increasing insincerity in their smiles. One with separate photos of Jane and Tavros pasted next to each other. One more with just Jane at her desk, and then they stopped coming. You remember the year that the car didn't come was the same year that Tavros Crocker left. You remember Jake not saying anything about it. And you remember hearing Jake's crying from this very room at night for a long time. Clipped to the back of the stack of cards is Jane's goodbye letter with two slightly faded clippings from the common hornographer folded inside. August 15th, 5122. Heir apparent, John English II confirmed as new president and CEO of great-great-grandmother's baking tech empire. February 13th, 5123. Crocker Corp no more. English sells off lots of Crocker Holdings. Shuts door after 122 years. You had debated reaching out to Mr. English when you first stepped into the spotlight, but eventually decided to just be proud of your great-great-nephew? You forget. From a distance. He had obviously been just fine growing up without any of the creators of the universe in his life, and would likely be best off staying that way. Under that stack is a green envelope. You pull out the worn letter.
Happy birthday, John. I know you don't like to make a big deal of your birthday anymore, but since this is a big one, I just wanted to know that I didn't forget and that I'm thinking of you. I hope you have a great day with Roxy and Harry Anderson. I can't believe he's going to be 6 soon. You know, I've been waiting very patiently since before he was born to give him his special gift. I hope you and Roxy decide that he's finally old enough for this year. You know, I got my first rifle when I was much younger than him, and I turned out just fine. Anyway, I've still been traveling a lot, but I would love to get together to catch up and sometime when I get back. It's been way too long. I have so many stories from my adventures. Happy 30th, bro. Welcome to Old Timers Club. I love you, and I can't wait to see you soon. Your big sis and friend, Jade.
Enclosed is a photo of Jade grinning on what appears to be a mountain, one hand holding her gun, the other making a peace sign. She was so good at making sure not to waste a second of her immortality. You guess that's why she was finished so soon. Next, you find Roxy's last letter from the night of Nicky Cage and Becca's wedding. God, even now that was so long ago. You do get an odd update from them every few years. You think their oldest just graduated from college? Or was it their youngest? It's clearly just a courtesy at this point, and not one you've actually returned, to be fair. You haven't really spent much time with your family since Roxy, and then you look back down into the box and they're literally staring you right in the face. In celebration of the life of Harry Anderson Sassacre Lalonde Egbert, June 11th, 5009 to November 11th, 5111. The wave returns to the ocean where it came from and where it's supposed to be. Old American recording artist, Flava Flav. The sharp pain in your throat only lasts a second before you release it in a stream of quiet tears. There's nobody left, so there's nobody left to hold back for. The grief isn't fresh, so it's not unbearable, and so you take a few moments to freely bear it. Roxy never experienced this, but their foresight of the feeling was spot on. It's not wrong or bad or sad that Harry Anderson died when they did. What's wrong is that you were there, that you're still here, and that while you couldn't call yourself smoking hot, you don't look or feel a day over 35. You wonder if you shouldn't have stuck around to watch it happen, but Roxy was also right that you just weren't ready to go. You guessed this is something you needed to stay for. You guessed there was a lot of stuff you needed to stay for whatever reason. Roxy was right about another thing too. Your kid was the coolest. You finally regain your composure and continue leafing through the pile. At the bottom is a small, well-worn scrap of paper. You almost miss it entirely.
Son, if you are reading this, it means you are now strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I am so proud of you.
You're not really sure why, but you slip this one into your pocket. You take the box downstairs and head out to the backyard. Jake's old fire pit is still mostly holding up, enough, you decide, based on zero knowledge of fire pits whatsoever. You place the box in the middle and throw in a lit match. It doesn't catch. How anticlimactic, you think. You try a few more times. Nothing. You take out your phone and look up how to start a campfire. You think about all the camping trips Jake and Jade invited you on and all the times you declined. After a few more matches, some dried leaves and twigs from around the yard, and a small, well-placed windy thing, you get to enjoy the warmth of your cherished memories one last time. The sight of the smoke rising is like watching the weight of the years float off your shoulders and disappear into the cool spring air. You realize that all of these emotions have made you hungry, so you head into the kitchen for breakfast. You check the cabinets and the fridge and don't find much, or at least not anything that interests you. Normally in times like these you would alchemize something or order delivery or just go back to bed, but instead you grab your purse and head to the store. You come home with all the ingredients you need, dust off your dad's old cookbook and pans, and you make yourself a birthday cake. It's a long and messy process, but you eventually cut yourself a slice, sit down and take a bite, and it's terrible. You laugh. On the way out to your dad's old car, you drop the rest of the cake in the garbage and roll it out to the end of the driveway for trash day. You get in the car and drive. You feel the wind caressing your face and singing in your ear, and you let yourself feel it fully and completely. You know where you're going. You are ready.
Oh, damn.
Big,
Wow.
big sad.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Really
boy.
fucking good, though.
Yeah, that is good. I like that a lot.